Welcome back to the Coloring Book channel. Today I was coloring the Cinderella project. I'm picking up some famous princesses and coloring a number of those. Started with Cinderella, and I thought I would color this one because I like the simplicity of her dress and that she's just a simple country girl loves to read. And so I tried to pick out very basic colors, but to give them some shadow and to see if I could capture what the young princess was like. So I started with the brown for her dress, and then with a little different color for the sleeves. She seemed to have a blouse underneath this dress that was the green in the picture, and then I'm going to color the apron yet another color. I've used a lighter brown on the top and then a darker brown on the bottom. Don't really like how the wide markers look when you paint them down. You have to be really careful to keep them from showing a lot of strokes. These do show a lot of strokes, so something I'll work on in the future. But I thought a nice light blue pastel apron would be perfect for this drawing with the other colors. And then I used a darker color to go around the edges to give it a little bit more depth. And I think that turned out pretty well. Then I started working on her skin, and as I mentioned before, with markers, you get one chance to pick the right color. I felt like her arm was a little too dark. I tried a lighter shade on her face. That looked better. But I didn't have any way to make her arm look lighter. I tried a little bit, but that just made it look even darker. So I thought, well, I'll go on and see if I come up with an idea later. Also, as a result of this, I ordered a pretty nice set of shuttlecraft markers, but they don't really have a lot of nice skin tones. So I ordered a set of markers that have skin tones, probably 25 markers of subtle skin tone changes. So instead of just one kind of peach, I might have 10 grades there. And then I've got also some nice light browns and some nice light tans that I can use for the other ethnic groups. So then I went to starting the color of the background. I think Cinderella turned out pretty nice. I put in 3 or 4 shades in her hair to try and show, to bring out her hair. So hopefully you notice that. And then I started working on the book that she's reading from. And there were so many objects in this picture to color. I kind of bounced around a little bit as I was trying to decide what colors to use. I didn't want to use any more browns for the basket, so I used an orange for the very top, but I did use a lighter brown, really lighter brown for that part of the basket. Again, I don't have a good mix of light browns and dark browns. I have 4 or 5 markers that are brown, but they all seem to be dark except 1 or 2. So with this lighter set of face colors, I also got some lighter browns that I can use for woods to give them some depth. I moved over to start working on this box, and I zoomed in on this photo, this part of the sketch, just because there's a lot of fine detail here, and I didn't want you looking at the whole picture when it was just a tiny bit of action going on. These mice were a particular challenge in that, as I mentioned, I didn't really have a lot of light browns, but I did find 3 different ones as I experimented with this. And I gave each one of them different colored clothing, so that would help differentiate them, so I didn't color on top of one another. So that's what I did with the three mice. I thought the red and the blue looked really nice. The orange dress, not as nice, but worked out okay. Then I started working on the big background and I started with a gray, which turned out to be a little darker than I wanted. Again, I should have tried a really light gray first and then added some dark on top of that. And then as you can see, I was working on this iron rail in the back. I did it all one color and I decided to fill it in with some purple. And I got partway through this and I didn't like how it was looking. I wished I had left the purple out and just gone with maybe instead of filling it all in, maybe just outline it. That might be better. So I changed midway through to kind of a blue, lavender, violet. You can see it's really close to the purple that I had before, and still a bit much for the drawing. I think it takes away from looking at Cinderella. And then I looked at the target to see, do I have any other colors that I can use instead? And I gave up and said, nope, I'll just finish it as it is. So those are some of the things you run into while you're coloring. So that's what I was thinking. I hope you enjoyed the project and maybe you'll color it and have your own ideas. Enjoy.